Welcome back, Speed Gaming fans, to the Final Fantasy Randomizer Speed Gaming Live 2024 tournament. We have another race for you this evening, RazorOne versus Odraun. My name is Thavian Hawk. With me in the booth now is Sofnum with our tracker returning Mechlin. Sofnum, what are we looking at with these parties and blursings?
So, we appear to have two knights, a white mage, and a black mage, or white wizard and black wizard, if you will. Which is sort of like a party out of my childhood. But the fighter is going to start with an herb, so all of our classes start with an item and a blessing, and has legendary sword, which is amazing. Sort of. But means they can equip any legendary sword. That can be really good. Is good on a fighter, isn't as good on a knight. The white mage has a ruby and plus 40 hit points, which isn't bad, but is meh. And then the black mage has the slab and resists poison, earth, death, time, and the status.
That's effective ribbon protection, or most of a ribbon, with the black mage is nice, but as we were looking with the blursings, we gotta see the red mage would have been so handy. Not only did it come with the key, it's also a non-promo required sage, so that's actually really huge. We do have recruiting on for anyone who missed the race earlier. They can find pre-promotion or post-promotion with the Bahamut fight a promoted red mage or wizard just sitting around, ready to be picked up. So we might just see one of those casters get swapped out for a caster that can cast more things.
Yeah, I wouldn't really be that surprised to see the white wizard swapped out for the red wizard, or red mage. The black mage is extremely valuable.
Oh, most definitely. Our other possible recruits are the thief that comes with a bottle, and the black belt, which comes with the rod. I actually like the black belt this time around, not only because, well, the punch cannon can be brought online pretty easily, but since it comes with the plus fighter sword option, you are not limited to like find the Masa and make it work, or rely on third-party grind spells from your other party members. You can just get a good sword that could go on a fighter and use that to get up to those 20 plus levels so you can bring the punch cannon into effect. So,
yeah,
for our
I mean the black
to
belt, and we've seen a lot of black belt strats on these seeds, but it's probably going to be dependent on what kind of equipment they find and when.
Most definitely. Some runners, like earlier we saw, just serendipitous check, find an eye and know where the black belt is, and they just route it around. Other runners, just like, I'm already in on this, I've got good gear on a fighter and or on a ninja and a knight, I'm just going to make it work. And if the spells run well and the levels are right for the grind, you can make it through just as fast without relying on the punch cannon, which we enjoy. Punch cannon is nice, but overloaded punch cannon, I understand why some of the runners in the community just find it a bit tedious or boring or unfun. But we like seeing things punched.
Yeah, it's nice to bring it out every once in a while. You know, to remind yourself what 4,000 damage on Lich 2 looks like. That's always nice. But yeah, I would agree that it can be, and our runners are off.
Bit of party shuffle from Odraun.
Yep, the natural one. Harm 3.
That is a sweeper, and heal 3 is learnable, and Invis 2 are both learnable by the knight. That's some good utility for those casters. No, you really want to find an early life spell, though.
Yeah, early life is great. Saber. Oh, so the king has the ship, which is nice.
Yeah, that's
didn't really need a hint for it. Yeah, it's kind of a womp of a hint, because, like, you know, you're probably going to do that soon anyway.
Indeedly do. But Odraun, our first runner out of Corneria, on their way to Toph. Does Odraun go straight into the fight, or does Odraun go and check those 3 boxes? Gonna go check the boxes. You can usually find some good gear or some really important starting cash out of these boxes. We have no
Yep.
loose items, so they are just looking for gear and gold. But especially when you're focusing on magic as your early damage, it's just something you want to find is gold.
Yeah, and since you don't have any like a shard hunt or any loose or anything on, gold can become a problem in these seeds. Just not opening enough boxes to get the kind of gold that you need. You start a higher level, so you don't need to grind as much. I mean, it's kind of an interesting quirk of the flag set.
Yeah, starting at level 10 across the party, there is Odraun getting through, getting the ruby. Was the king not? Okay, so that must have been Astos, not the king, unless that ruby is the ship.
Yeah, that's a little bit. I must have misread.
Well, either way, that the ship is not what we have. We have the ruby, which for the moment is a womp because we have no way to get to Melmond. Well, I mean, I like walking around. They need to get their leg exercises.
Yep, they're steps.
Yep. And with the ogres with ice too. Early sweeper takes out the black mage. Another reason to have level 10 party members is survivability from the craziness that some of these early encounters can have. Heal stick, that's actually kind of handy, especially early on when you don't have much magic. And there's the canoe. So all of the inner scene now available to our runners.
Yeah, canoe is a good early find. Especially... Okay, yeah, it is Astos.
So that would be our crown turn into the ship. We don't have any crown access from any of our NPC pickups, so that's something that's going to have to be found. Ooh, I saw Glance. It didn't land, but there's Glance on this party.
Maybe a Gerwolf?
Well, here's hoping, because we're going to see more Gerwolves later on.
Yeah. There's a Black Mage. Pretty sure that's what that is.
Yes, that is. We don't have any alternate sprites from either of our runners, thankfully, so we can actually identify them. The sprites do get affected by the color palette of where they're located, though, so...
But can be a little bit challenging.
Yeah, Odraun finally getting through a few hits and gets that harm 3 off. The harm all spells for that white mage means they do more damage, or they do damage to things that aren't undead. And there's the bottle from Bicky. The pirate stole the fairy from the pond and gave it to his pirate captain.
Slow to...
Sleep, lit, and blind, and defense sword hint.
In the waterfall.
Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot has the defense sword, and Fade at level 2, Night
Fade.
Learnable. That's 3 casts of Fade. I should say 3 casts once these knights hit level 15 above, because they still have to get to that level 15 point before they start getting charges.
Before they get any charges, but very soon. The rate these runners are going, pretty soon.
No shop item spotted here. One of the many fun flags we have, shuffling all the locations of stores in Provoca. So far, I haven't seen a city ravaged by a vampire, though. The Melmond vampire blight is shuffled to everywhere other than Canaria. It would be hilarious if Canaria could be blighted. It might be a flag, but we're not using it.
Yeah. It might be hilarious, but it could also be sort of blocking, too, if, like, something nasty's going on.
Indeed. Odraun going to do a quick check in these 2 dwarf chests. Finds a heal pot in a cabin. Nothing too special. On the way down. Now, if you're Odraun, do you think I've got what I need? I'm going to go to Marsh, or are you just going to go straight to Elfland to check the magic and see what that herb turns into?
I'm going to go turn in the herb. I don't really see a reason to go straight to Marsh. I guess it's a little bit closer, or more of a straight shot. Oh, we're going to Marsh.
Yep, and we have some substantial divergence. Razor going into the river system, either heading towards Crescent or might early check Volcano or Ice. going straight to the ice dive sub 7 minute. This is a risky play, but we love it.
Yeah, we'll have to see if it pays off.
Ice has a lot of different trap tiles on it, has a lot of spooky encounters that come in variety packs, and the fish have fast. That is an and their R-bones have crack. Odraun finding pain, resetting
that's not
out.
very nice at all.
Razor finding 2 ogres with ice too as they reset back out to provoke and continue on. This is I think Razor might reconsider and go to Crescent instead of Ice. Yep, there you go. Not going to Ice this time.
It was an interesting play.
I like it.
I like the early bail. I like being cognizant and being like, okay, that wasn't good.
Welcome, Final Fantasy Randomizer fans, rating in from the Mystic Quest X Final Fantasy race we had going on in FF1. You are joining in just as the startup from the RazorOne versus Odraun match. 2 runners going on different locations in the map completely. Very nice to see.
Yep. So one went left and one went right. It's basically what happened. But, so we see Odraun making their way around Marsh while Razor is going around the river system on the inners.
Yeah, Razor tried to make a dive towards Ice, but the very annoying fast cast Caribs decided to say no and reset out of that and went to Crescent. And you know what? Odraun in Marsh picks up the canal. We got a hint earlier that the ship is behind the crown with Astos.
Oh, and there's a nice rod.
Yep, the old man with a stick. Not the normal old man that has a stick, but a loose random old man with a stick. The R-bones have crack, so Fade killing that R-bone makes Odraun a happy person.
Yeah. It's a much more reliable way of dealing with that particular pack of enemies.
Now, Razor going back up after going to Crescent, gonna probably make the volcano play. I doubt they'll go Ice. No, I'm wrong. They are going Ice. They really want to do that early Ice dive. I'm not against it. It's just risky.
Maybe a little bit commit to the bit, but I don't know. I might go here again. I might try this instead of Volcano, since we went left or right side anyway.
It could be a daring play. We did see in our double header race before this a vanilla floater. If Razor finds the floater in Ice and Odraun doesn't head there sooner than later, that could be a noticeable advantage in map mobility. Especially since the crown, I mean, if the floater's here, the crown could be unavailable in the inner sea, and then Odraun would have to be forced just last check Ice. The crown is not available on any of our pickup party members, so far have seen what was the I didn't catch. I think it might have been a black belt or a thief with the old men.
I thought it was a fighter, but
it was a thing. There's a white mage, and there's the crown from the elf prince. So that's French vanilla shenanigans, I guess.
Yeah, backwards vanilla. Temper
we already
is nice
had
to find at level 3.
And fast. The fast and temper on the same level is always kind of annoying, especially if you don't have multiple black casters. But I mean, you've got images with frost, and there's a lot of them, and mute touch on some on images or the others. I mean, Ice is not nice.
No, it's very neat.
Gets the fade off though.
So Sea Shrine has the floater out of a hint.
That means Oxyale makes the way, or gets them into the air. They've got the canoe, and we know they'll get the ship from Astos. So Odraun, once he finds that Oxyale, can go right to this, or to sea, check out mermaids, and get into the air. And whoa, gold bracelets rolled up +1, but they are 11 plus 1,000 gold. Nice to see if you can get the gold, but so far nowhere near that much gold has been earned or found.
Yeah, so RazorOne still pushing into ice here. Gonna check 6-pack down here. At least mages aren't very mean, at least out of their first punch. Procate. Good find.
Odraun pulling Astos, goes punch, punch, fade, 106 from the fade, fire 3, 124, Astos gets incinerated, and there is a ship, and that is a black belt directly next to Astos. Are we going to see the black belt swap? Yes, we got a knight and a black belt now. Odraun with the ship and the canal can go and fight Bahamut to promote that black belt. I don't think he'll do that immediately though, because buff Bahamut is not something you can easily take early. He probably will give up a few levels of, or a few points of MDef and keep that black belt a black belt for a while.
Yeah, I would imagine so as well, unless we find a really great sword that we want to use. But
This is true. Fighter swords again is the blursing for that black belt, so that is weapons to use. And the herb hint, we already don't care. They also already had the rod, so the black belt was just a party selection. It wasn't an item grab. There is the slab translated for Odraun. Odraun on the Melman continent with the ruby can go talk to Sarda and monster his way down to Lich as the TNT comes out of the waterfall check.
curious.
Life as at level 4 slot 1. That is a single life cast available. The knight will not be able to learn it. Obviously the red mage, if they pick one up with the sage blursing, will. Ice wasn't nice, but Razor makes it out at 1344 as Odraun talks to / removes / feeds a Titan.
Yep. A roadblock, if you will.
Oh, the Hydra said Blaze. I mean, that's more annoying than the fasted fishes. And Frost!
Oh, that's really yucky.
Cube from Sarda. That's second stage access to Sky. Still need to find the Chime.
But certainly necessary, certainly good find.
Most definitely. At this point, you need to find your go mode items. That way you can get to the fiends and fight them. Ooh, there you go. Vorpal +1 and a katana +1. The Vorpal, honestly, the katana or the Vorpal +1 gets the choice.
Oh. Okay.
Odraun is happy. His teammate in Krakenos is doing him nice with the choice of the Vorpal. If he had kept that second knight, he would have had the Vorpal and the katana on 2 melee party members. But at this point, having the black belt, it's probably the end game damage dealer. We will likely see Odraun check Hall of Giants here. If not, they'll probably end up coming back, because if you have the black belt, you want to find that grind tile and know where it is for later.
Yep. Definitely on the lookout for a grind tile. So we'll see what's in Earth here. That is not a grind tile.
Meanwhile, Razor taking the left side route up and around the inner sea so you can turn in the TNT.
Oh, and it turns into the loot.
The instrument has been found. That is the final endgame item. You don't have to search for it. We just need the key, and then those 3 items to get into our dungeons. Or 3 more remaining items. 2 in Odoron's case. I wonder what those Grogers have. We know what the Ogres have, but Odoron gets away. No Thief or Ninja, so this runaway is just good luck.
Yep. And Razor going down to Marsh now.
We haven't. Razor has not seen Warp, I believe, which was at level 4 Black, and definitely does not have Exit, so they're gonna have to run this back out just like Odoron did.
Yeah, unfortunate that. But, you know, we got our TNT. Maybe that'll lead.
Ooh, Undead Sleep Touch Pack. That's no fun. And Odoron actually skipping that chest in front of in front of the vampire. That tile was the one that had the eye on it for the race earlier. It is mirrored with the top and bottom room Earth 1 tiles. Vorpal Punch does the job. Odoron through with the vampire. And what is it? It is a ribbon. That's nice to see, but not progression.
So, Razor 1 now. Get their canal. Odoron making use of the rod to probably go kill us a leech.
Yeah, most definitely. And at this point, our incentive item for progression is either going to be with the robot, which I believe we already had a hint for.
Yep, the defense sword, so not
Okay.
progression.
In that case, it's going to be ordeals or a shop item. We always like seeing ordeals. These flags tend to take us there more often than not.
Yep, incentive items tend to do that.
And Razor is out.
Odoron pulls Lich 1. And let's see. 3 hits, 154. Black Belt 3 hits, 80. Not too bad. Fast a little bit late on that night. Fire 3 on Lich. 146. Ooh. And Lich is down.
Fade, Fire, Vorpal, Punch. I mean, Lich was as speed bumpy as it normally is, thankfully. And Odoron, our first orb lit. Meanwhile, Razor in Elflin gets the Fast and Temper on the Black Mage. Also gets Ice 2 for an extra sweeper. Probably not going to be seeing that used much, but nice to have if you got the gold to spend. And with 35,000, has the gold to spend.
Yes.
Odoron heading south, heading a lot west.
Yep. Trying to figure out where Odoron might be going.
Odraun going to Crescent, had not gone there. It was Razor who went to Crescent and Ice Dive, has not seen what's in Volcano. So I forgot, we do have the Volcano incentive item, so Ordeals or Ordeals, Shop, or Volcano. There's Exit level 6, as well as Ruse. The herb was already in hand, so regardless, Razor going to get the ship as Odoron goes to the upper dock, gonna probably make the ice play. Oh no, upper dock going Volcano first. I actually don't mind this, especially since we know how dangerous ice can be. That said, the Hydras are quite dangerous themselves. Go for the bite instead of the sweeper, so much more easy to deal with for Odoron.
Yep. And so Odoron will... Oh, go ahead.
Astos faded away, and no, Razor does not take the black belt. Knows where it is, but not going to take it now. It's fast to get to, even if you don't have the airship, though. You can river dock there, pick it up, and go. I like the divergence in party selection. No punch cannon for Razor, at least not just yet. Oh, Gurims have Stone Touch. We didn't see that earlier. We like it. I should point out, this seed is all down to our tracker Mechlin. Nice job, Mechlin. We all take pride in our seeds.
And I'd also like to thank Mechlin for tracking and keeping us honest and that sort of thing. It's been really nice.
Most definitely. I could imagine just being burnt out after the doubleheader we were running earlier, but just sticking with it, and we much appreciate it. We have life picked up by Razor, and then we've got a Dragon Armor and a Zeus Bonk picked up by Odraun out of Armory. That's a sweep or a caster item and pretty good endgame armor, although Odoran's Knight is currently face down at the front of the party.
That is unfortunate.
No good spike tile found thus far in the first two. Razor's doing the translation while he's in Melman. Got the slab, might as well take care of it.
Yep. Melman nice and pristine, of course.
My favorite flag is the flag that makes Melman's sand tiles encounterable.
Yep, the Zozo
You must
flag.
walk on the path. Odraun not bothering to check any of the treasure chests on the way down, focusing on getting to Carrie's floor to get the red D chest. Also not going to check the Agama room. The Agama tile is mirrored right in front of the candles going to the red D chest, so you can check what's there without checking that room.
Which is nice and handy.
Gersharks are not what we want. If it was Gershark Big Eye, and neither Image. We know images are dangerous. Run, 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 run. Adamant acquired.
Alright, more fetch quests.
As Razor picks up the cube from Sarda, Odraun decides, do I run away or do I go for Carrie? I'm going for Carrie. Does pick up the Knight. Gets away from the Ogres, and how do we make this play? We have swing, we have swing, we have fast and fade. Swing for 3 hits, ice 2 from Carrie, not her element, but it does hurt either way. Vorpal 2 hits for 118, gonna get the fast out, so the next swing could hit more. Fade rolls low, 115, swing, swing, fade, temper. Gonna focus on buffing that Vorpal equipped Knight. There you go, 3 hits, this time 284. This is an evasive Carrie who has fast. Yeah, who needs more arms and more swords swinging more times? That is scary as can be. Temper coming out after the swing, unfortunately. 4 hits for 154. Dark is nice to see. We do not have the improved Dark stats, so this is not going to affect that Knight's accuracy. 4 hits for 53. Fade coming out. 80 damage. That Fade keeps rolling low. Do we go with lock strats to help with the evasion? But Fade gets the job done. Finally rolls high, and that is our first orb lit, or second orb lit, I should say. Odraun with 2 lit orbs.
Yeah, really, really great work there, putting on a nice clinic on how to do Volcano.
Odoron's choice to go Melman Continent first, take care of Lich, seeming to work out better than Razor's early ice dive play. Especially with the river bounce that sent him to Crescent and then back to Ice. It just seems to be working out better for Odraun, but we could see a lot of really bad stuff, especially when we get towards Topher. So this is by no means decided.
Oh, certainly not. Runners are still within quite reasonable distance of each other. And as you said, who knows what nastiness can lie in the seed.
Yeah, I mean, if Odraun doesn't find a valid grind tile or grind location for that black belt, Razor with 2 standard melee fighters can just walking grind and get the job done. They have access to more armor, so they don't need those levels to build up absorb. And of course, with a Masa, an Excal, a Vorpal, or a Katana at their hands or disposal, they have a lot of options to swing for high crit chance. Oh, Worms with Glare. That's... Or Glance, that's even worse.
Yep, with Glance. Luckily
Frostwolves with Stinger. That's great to see. Frostwolves with Stinger, so poisoned Frostwolves that are being faded into non-existence in revenge.
It's good revenge to get, of course, but...
That is just note for Odraun that if he sees the Frostwolf tile, he doesn't want to take it. And there are quite a few tiles in this dive. You've got the tile on the right side, you have the incentive tile, then you've got 3 tiles in the drop down floor, the first undead pack, the Bloody tile, and the Frostwolf tile. So 5 total tiles in Ice Cave.
Yep. If you're looking for that grind, it can be a really populous place to look.
23,000 gold out of that chest is nice to see. Use the warp trick to get the TNT. And checks the tile for a giant. Doesn't really care. Gonna try and run away. Gets away. There's the earth tile, or earth encounter on the undead pack tile. Gonna check the Bloody tile. It is wizards. That is not a tile you want.
No, not a grind. Light axe though.
It's nice and it's wieldable by a fighter or whatnot, but I'd like the Thor hammer +2 that Razor just got out of Earth Armory more.
Well, of course.
That is something immediately going to be wielded by one of those fighters, or those knights. He's on Ice -1 on the other. Does not have the Vorpal or the Katana that Odraun picked up. And Undead Party Pack on, that would be the Wolf tile, or the Frost Wolf tile. I prefer the Frost Wolves with Stinger than the Undead, or than the Seafood Party Platter.
Well, so far it's not been too terribly mean.
Well, I mean, boiling some lobsters with Fire 3.
Yeah. Lobsters just, so far, have been swinging happy.
You know, the big thing is they haven't been hitting a lot, because lobsters tend to get a lot of hits in with them pinchers. All of that for 571, not enough gold to make it worth it, but Life Cast brings the parties back up, Heal 3 and Cure 4 brings the parties back to full top.
Yeah.
There's
that
that
ice is fine, but...
Razor, like, why? I left the ice images in ice. Why are they here in Earth? Meanwhile, Odraun makes his way out of Ice Cave with that TNT? Or was it the Adamant?
It was the TNT.
Yes, TNT, which is the loot, which is required, so good thing that he went there. Has the ship, so he can just circumnavigate the seas to get to it. At this point, though, we now know our progression is gated behind ordeals or the shop item, and the shop item would have to be in the on-rack shop or the caravan if it is available pre-floater. Now, if you're Odraun, do you go for ordeals play at this point?
I should think so. It's a rather popular check.
Looks like Odraun was just navigating and went a bit too far, going to turn in that TNT. Going to use the river dock, so he doesn't have to walk all the way from the northern dock that you'd normally use. Meanwhile, Razor dealing with a speed bump that is surviving longer than one would expect for a speed bump. There it goes. There's the Womp Herb turn in for the Adamant, and a Thief beside.
Yep, not worth it either side.
And the Loot.
And the loot.
Warp used to save the run back. Razor, meanwhile, down and out and is heading south. Razor going for ordeals, and Odraun right on his heels.
Yep. This is obviously the play, so we'll see who can make it through faster. They both should have warp by now.
Yes, they do. Warp was at level 4 black, so totally accessible. Couple trap tiles in ordeals, so if Odraun finds a trap tile in here, he might just choose to start the grind. With 2 orbs, that's a good amount of experience growth. Get your pillars in chat. We have a split early. Do we get an early 4-pillar room?
Yep, we do.
Early floor pillar means we could actually skip some of those splits. It's nice that it's possible, but it's not guaranteed. Mummy pack on the first trap tile. Pillar 1 says no. 3 and 1 in chat. It was 2. And it was definitely not up on the third split. Warp back out, and there you go. Razor is through. What is our second trap tile? It is the giant iguanas. Nothing worth having. Is gonna raid for treasures. Do not blame him at this point. More gear is a good thing, especially if you want to keep both of those masters equipped with good weapons and good armor. Found the dragon armor, could find the opal plate, for instance. And an X-Cal. That is a big stick. I would take that over the Vorpal for pretty much the entire run until maybe Chaos.
And even that. So X-Cal. Well, I mean, I guess the Vorpal rolled up a little bit. But...
Yes, the Vorpal is the more effective crit stick. Razor checking that 4th box that is actually linked with the chest next to those, or on the 2nd floor on the pillar maze, so there was nothing in there, and is the slab, which, well, that is floater locked, so our shop item is our go mode, or is our progression.
When Odraun skipped the X-Cal, of course, he's got the punch cannon, so he's not really fighting on X-Cal strats anyway.
True, and he is Oslotto's teammate. He is Team Vorpal by proxy. He's gonna run that Vorpal to the end. Shop item is not an on-rack itself, so this is going to be a Caravan French vanilla shop item. Which at this point is either Oxyale or is Chime. Whichever it is, it will mean more navigation of the world, whether it's faster or slower. Oh, and we have a ProcGen waterfall. That's a fun fact. If you were wondering why our runner wasn't going up and to the left. One fun fact about the ProcGen waterfall is, well, 2 fun facts. It's more likely to have out-of-bound bats, and it's also possible for this to completely loop on itself. So if you head all the way to the left, you could loop back and find the entrance.
Not only is it possible, but it happens quite a bit.
Indeedly do. So up and to the left was not it. Down and to the left also not it. Straight down was not it either. Oh, there it was. Really close, but just missed.
Just not in view.
There's that defense sword. Mr. Robot provides a ruse stick on a stick that actually hurts, and a sun sword. That is actually really nice. And the fire armor +1. That knight now has really solid equipment. Plus, that Sun Sword actually can go on that Black Belt because it is a fighter-equipped sword. The Black Belt does not have to just swing fists until it's effective. Odraun not bothering to menu at the moment, just wants to go and get that item that is in the shop here. Should have enough gold, 66,000 for a chime at 29. That is Sky, Sky, Sky.
Which has to have, well, either the Oxyel or the key.
Correct, and the key would have to lead to the Oxyel, because at this point we know the floater is in C, which gets us access to the Lethane and Fairy checks. Lethane and Gaia checks.
Yep.
Regardless, Sky, 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 Sky provides.
Guy's gonna provide something for sure.
Razor doing some substantial shuffling of the gear. Does Odraun take a few encounters outside the tower? Wow, that is an early first step. Nice, there's a steak and wings and a sandworm right outside the...
That's pretty good.
That is starter levels available, and that was a fast encounter off the hard reset, I believe, so... Could see a desert grind check right after the kill on Tia. It's also relatively good proximity to Bahamut, so you could run to Bahamut, translate or fight Bahamut, and come back with the promoted Black Belt as a master. The Black Belt only getting 3 MDef. It is fixed. It's not 1 MDef for the master, 4 MDef for the Black Belt. It is 3 MDef for the Black Belt, 4 MDef for the master. The question of whether or not it was intended to be that way in the first place, or if that was just an oversight, well, it's... People say it's Nasir because he did everything. I say it's just the result of Final Fantasy being Final Fantasy, and we love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the sort of thing that they obviously didn't catch, because they didn't catch a lot of the more glaring bugs, so it's very believable.
That is the Oxyale. That means Sky is our next, or C is our next play to get the floater, and the key will have to come out of the loot or the bottle, or the slab or the bottle.
Oh, yeah.
That is the loot. That'd be interesting to get. We already have that. It came out of TNT from Ice, and it can't turn into another item.
It doesn't. It turns into Topher.
True. But do we have a googly-eyed Toph? I don't know if I meant or spotted that earlier.
I didn't take a look and see. I forgot to mark.
Odraun is in Sky with relatively low levels. It is kind of spooky. But he does have spells, and he does have a defense sword. Up and to the left, I approve.
Oh, it's Zigzag, though. Zigzag's bad.
I mean, it is the moment's transition between moving left to right, and he did overshoot by 1, so you can critique his style, but the up to the left is the correct. And that's some metal slimes. That's actually nice to see. If they run relatively thin, they can be good party experience. Especially since they're weak to fire.
Yep. We're gonna try... Ooh, that's really nice. And they're pretty thin because they're under 120, so...
Indeed, and our tracker chiming in for us saying that they requested a wandering Warmech. Warmech would be walking somewhere as an encounterable entity on the maze floor of Sky 4. Did not see it, so...
Oh, that's why we
get it. Might get to see it with Razor. Might even see Odraun run back saying, I want to take that fight, but Odraun coming here with this low a level, you don't really want to fight a Warmech who has the same spell kit as the endgame Fiends, and just like the Fiends can roll up to 200% stats. Speaking of fiends, Razor taking on carry with much higher levels and better equipment than Odraun had, gets done with that fight relatively easily, as Odraun shuffles some gear around to take on Tia.
Yep. Gonna see what Tia has in store for us.
Does not equip the Sun Sword, just goes with Punch for the black belt. White Mage taking 140 damage, and ooh, 2 hits for 2 damage. That Vorpal not doing anything. Fast coming out, defense coming out. Or was that the Punch that did the 2 hits for 2
That was
damage?
the punch, was 2 hits, 2 damage. I'm pretty sure Stabby McStab Boy did a saber or something.
Defense sword stack.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the thing with the Punch, that's not high levels, so... but that's also, should be 4 punches, so this is a dodgy Tia. 5 hits, 298, gonna get some damage in, 2 hits for 91, it's chip, but it's enough. Fade coming out, 133, low roll fade, countered by a pretty high roll fire too. Doesn't take any party members out though. Swing, 3 hits for 187, gonna have to stack up the damage. This could be a Tia that rolls up like 15, there you go. It's a Tia that is dead. 3 orbs lit for Odraun. Is rezzing the party though. It's not going to be looking in the desert. This is going to be Odraun going straight to the Ryokon. Odraun can easily go somewhere else to promote or to grind once he's in the sky.
Yep. We'll have access to everywhere, obviously, and we'll be able to find somewhere acceptable to grind.
Razor doing some contemplation in the menus after talking to the dwarves. As Odraun goes to the Onrakon, is gonna just proximity play C, get full 4 orbs. Oh wait, has to get the floater from C. So
Yes.
this makes sense.
Yes.
My brain was thinking. Yeah, my brain was thinking that they had the floater for some reason, but no, that's in Bubbles territory. Unfortunately, as much as Odraun might want to honor his teammates' status as a member of Bubbles Soda Co., he's doing enough with the Vorpal. We will likely not see a carbonation of a Bubbles.
That's too bad.
Usually, when we don't have any random incentive locations, we don't often see Bubbles. In fact, we're not even going to check any chests that aren't near the incentive chest here. And we're going to likely just see Warp Out immediately.
Yep.
Yep, not checking
Not
a
even-
single check.
Not even checking the other 2 chests that are right there.
Saving the Warp Charge for no other reason. Does want to check magic, it seems.
So Razor figuring out that the chime is the way and the caravan is the way to the chime. Here. So we'll be hot on Odoron's heels here momentarily.
Yep, 1 orb / dungeon dive behind as Odraun going back into C does want a single trip, only double trip on rack, having been to the waterfall, been to the caravan. Still has a double dip, but it's not as bad as it could be. At this point, I could assume the proximity play for Odraun post Kraken is to promote and then airship and find grind. The key will come from the turn-ins. He just wants to find somewhere to fight.
Not these waters.
Tyros have rub, and wyverns have something really annoying that isn't insta-death. So Steak and Wings party, not so fun to fight. And Arsahag Wizsahag pack with Scorch, and you have 8 Arsahags. Good thing you got away from that.
Got a theory rod.
That was a Tyro with Rub and a Wyvern with some sort of
I'm pretty
Flash
sure it was
effect.
Meek. Well, yeah, something like that. I don't know, it's dead.
Yeah.
Odraun.
Odraun, there's cremate on the Tyros as well. Instant magic and her fire breathing.
Very nice.
Seafood Party Pack doing its job to hinder Odoron's progress. Doesn't get away from the first run, just takes a bunch of bites and gets away again. Finds a Sea Troll Sneeze Stick. Gets beaten up by them and finally gets away.
Yep.
Gonna meat shield with the black belt. Interesting choice. Punch, fast on the night. Invis 2 for the team. Defense sword. Wants to go full evasion and stonks with the other party members being body blocking bodies. Ablative meat shields, that's the term for it. And there goes the 400 damage in 6 hits to the black belt. Its ablation has been achieved. And the black mage is just working front to back for Kraken.
Yep. Which is kind of how you draw it up when you kind of put your party in this order, but that fighter swinging that sword around is, well, that wasn't very effective, but ooh, Kraken has Blaze.
Spells don't matter or don't get affected by evasion stacks, so if Kraken starts casting more than hitting, this could be substantially more spooky for Odraun. Ink is a Womp skill, does nothing to affect this, so it's a free turn.
So the knight must not have the power bonk or something.
No. Has the Vorpal, has been fasted. There's damage poison, but the Fade rolled high, Fade rolled medium, and these hits are stacking up. Cure 4 is available, gonna full heal the knight. It is nuke safe, and there you go. Odraun gets the kill. That is all 4 orbs lit for Odraun. And actually works out that the black belt was downed. It didn't get any experience, so it didn't get those MDef or reduced MDef levels.
Yeah, kind of 6 one, half dozen the other, but kind of lucky. Now we're
No
off
Warmech
to. That's too.
No. Off to the desert to get into the air as Razor pulls in to Tia. Loses the white mage. Excal swing doesn't get the damage it needs, only 80 or so. Temper and fast on that Excal swinger, 581. There's the damage. Fire 2 is just chip damage. Swinging for 2 hits on that ice sword, not anything special. Into the sky, Odraun goes, popping the ball on the way, 49-17, as Fire 2 chips away at Razor and Ice Sword, not enough. The White Mage and the Black Mage are down. The Excal doing damage, though, 249. That is Life 2 and Wall at level 7. Gaia, huge thing to find. Gonna switch from Ice Sword to Thor Hammer. Really wants to see if he can get more damage than that Ice Sword was doing. And there you go. That combined with the Excal gets the job done. And ooh, big sword found. Masa +2.
Yeah, nice Masa.
That's bottle into Masa. That means slab into key. And did that slab get translated by Odraun?
I'm pretty sure the slabs are both translated. Oh, our Mechlin, our tracker, pointing out that Red Mage must be in the slab turn-in, and the Red Mage has the key.
That's hilarious.
So we don't actually have to... there's that Red Mage.
Do you take the Red Mage now? I mean, you're right. Doesn't bother. Because you have the Lefanian Superstore there. You could pick up a Red Mage Sage and give it exactly what magic you want. But Odraun says, no, I don't care. I'm going to leave. I've got the airship. I'm in full go mode. I just want to find a grind to get my black belt into full-on punch cannon mode, or enough levels to make my knight be worth winning with. Or at 51 minutes, Odraun could think that this isn't too late for the grind and is going straight to Topher. I like it. We know the Frostwolves aren't fun. Went to Topher, decided no, I don't want to go to Topher. Googly Eye Topher, of course. Map derp for the win. Checking Northwest Castle. So he just looked for immediate proximity grind tile options.
Yep. Something decent is something we'll take at this point. Not one water.
Not waters with gaze. Or nightmares. They tend to be really not worth it. There are a few other places to check. There is what's in Earth. There's also a couple tiles in Marsh Locked, but that's a pretty deep dive. Where is Odraun going? Did he see a tile exclusive to, like, Armory?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe checking some of those tiles.
There's the Oxyel for Razor. Yeah, the only tile that you can't get to that matters would be the Armory tile. Maybe this tile down here was worth having. Werewolves and Gerwolves, definitely want to get away from those. They're not the Frostwolves, so they're not poisonous, but they could be worse. Finds Grey Worms and goes, nope. I guess it's just one he had not checked yet.
Yeah. I mean, we're kind of running out of good options, though. I guess we could check the ones in Toph.
Yep, looks like it's going to be a
Or
Toph
maybe
grind.
Toph grind.
Or just a walking grind. Metal Slimes as a first encounter, if that's... That could be a juicy party grind. Meanwhile, Razor picking up some 4 R-Hydra pack for both of his knights. Gonna go 2 Knight and Out of Sky. Oh, Razor actually killed Tia and then went back for the item.
Oh. That's the one way to do it.
Sadly, killed Tia, went back for the item, but didn't get the robot chicken. Understandable when you're already down your casters.
Frosties are pretty good experience. We're gonna run them.
Yeah, what you really want to find is the Gasties on the next floor after this. They are the juiciest experience of a 4-pack you can find. So much so that in the original game, they actually kind of buffer overflowed the experience.
Nice.
Bad Men, not so good. They are usually nuclear equipped. But this is a randomizer. They could have no nuclear. They could also roll very high in hit points. 141, not enough to do the damage. 170 plus, not enough to do the damage. And they hit hard and have heat. That's probably a reset out. Odraun hoping the Fade finishes up enough of them. Not getting the kill on 3 so far. 5 of them survive. There's more heat. Kind of risky using Life 1 in battle against enemies with sweepers like heat, because that's only 27 hit points. It'd probably die to 1 heat cast, but Odraun gets it up, takes out all but 2 now. Zeusbach, Punch, Harm 3, and Punch for lack of charges. Zeke's bonk gets it done. That's 9,500 hit point or experience points. That's pretty juicy, but that's a very not safe grind option.
No, very, very hard fought experience there. There's some Gasties.
My favorite my favorite Topher grind tile. And they're thin as all get out. 283 was enough to get the kill. That Masa on that black belt doing work, fire and whatnot damage doing the job. There's the floater for Razor. One more swing or hit should do the job, and there you go. That is 12,654 experience across 4 members. That 200% or so experience gain of having all 4 orbs showing up big time.
Yep. And those Gasties really pretty paper thin.
Indeedly do. I doubt Odraun is going to drop and go with the punch cannon at this point. He's probably just going to team grind until he's safe with levels, leave that Masa on the black belt, and go with the Vorpal on the knight and the Masa on the black belt.
Yeah,
Using that light axe as a harm 2 caster, that's just a fun utility piece.
We might not complain if the Black Mage goes down.
Well, the Black Mage can be brought back up. It dying, it doesn't need any more charges. So yeah,
right.
I could see it just going down. And Razor popping some Gershark Big Eye pinatas. That's an okay amount of experience, not nearly the Gasties that Odraun is currently fighting. But if Odraun finds that 6 or 9 pack of bad men again, that could be it for this grind. In fact, Odraun deciding I'm going to get out of this floor, and there's those Stinger Wolves again. And the Black Mage is dead. Razor fighting the Stun Waters and not being happy about that. And taking the fight against the Arhags. Please hope the sweeper gets before the Arhags start doing their thing. Scorch, they're starting to do their thing. It's not a lot of damage, but there's a lot of them.
Yeah, this isn't the thing you really want to see here.
Odraun finds more Gasties. Does Odraun think he needs it? He is going to take it. I mean, he knows they're thin enough that the Black Mage and the Black Belt and the Knight. In fact, punching with the Black Belt is enough. Has the Masa on the Knight.
Not really online, but enough.
I mean, doesn't need to be online if that Knight swings a Masa for 700 damage in 5 hits, and you have a fast caster. So, gonna not rely on the punch cannon, gonna go with the swole stocked metal coated armor dude.
Yep, seems like a good idea here.
It is a route to go mode. Razor on to Kraken's floor as Odraun dives past the loot plate and is back in time.
Back in time, Frostwolf still had Stinger.
Yeah, gonna pure up. Doesn't want to lose damage just by walking around, and thankfully we aren't on Odoron's music, so we don't get to hear the pain sound. Finds a 9 or an 8 pack of metal slimes. I like the walking grind at this point, especially when you find packs of things that can give you almost 10,000 experience per party member. There you go, 7,500 in one shot. That's another level per party member, basically.
Yep, that was definitely worth it. Definitely.
Gurmadusas just being annoying. They hit quite a lot, but they're not hitting that hard and don't seem to have a script just yet. Meanwhile, Razor deciding temper fast. What do I want to do? Goes with the temper on the first of the knights. Mr. Hit. Fade from the second knight. Excal swing, 630. There you go, Kraken dead. That is all orbs lit for Razor.
So Razor will probably be looking for a grind tile now here. Or still looking for the key, I suppose.
Razor on the way to the airship. Meanwhile, Punch Cannon, not so cannony. Punch Pistol, let's call it Punch Pistol, deals some damage. Poison from Lich. That takes out... Whoa! That Black Mage, I believe, has protection from status, so...
Yep.
That helps there.
Yeah, the Black Mage
poison.
I mean, it has both. It has Pet Mass. Pet is...
Not bothering with the R-Giant. Agamas, especially since the Agamas had nuke, evidently. Good thing we didn't see those on a grind tile. I mean, it would have been hilarious, but at least now we know. They're tired of being feasted upon. They want to be extra spicy. So spicy that they're not considered edible. But of course you find those weird people who enjoy extraordinarily hot foods and will just munch on them anyways as extra spicy jerky. Odraun pulling up to carry 2. Punch, or swing, punch, fade, and fast. Punch and swing come out. That is 395. That's a non-fasted fade and 6 hits with that punch, or the now punch submachine gun? Yeah, not punch pistol, it's punch submachine gun. Lit 2, the most common of spells. Hurt for 72, 41 damage for the punch pistol. 10 hits, 400 plus. That gets the carry 2 down. Odraun threw onto the seafloor as Razor talks to the fairy, gets the Masa, and moves on to get the key from the Lefanians. Or the Red Mage with the key from Lefane.
You could do either one.
I don't think neither of our owners bothered promoting, so...
Indeed, but the Red Mage is non-promo log sage, which is kind of handy.
Yeah, it really is.
We have punch, we have swing, we have invis, we have fast. Oh, defense instead of swing. Want some evasion stacks? Understandable. This is a Kraken. More evasion stacks with the invis. Have not seen Kraken go for the White Mage. Goes with Bane instead. Gets the insta-kill on the Black Belt, but that's the ablative meat shield of the party. Will Kraken swing, or will Kraken continue using spells or skills? Because lock to prevent evasion, more evasion for the knight. There's Fade coming out, stopping with the invis. There's Nuclear, the most powerful of skills, nearly taking out the Black Mage. Zap, yet again, another skill. This is a skill-happy Kraken. That's extra scary because there's only 4 skills, and it will cycle over to that Nuclear rather quickly if it keeps using them.
Looks like our swing cannon is online though, so... Oh, Inferno. Its last skill.
The Sword Arm of Sword Arms, the Masa from the Knight, gets the job done with 2 man up. That's 3,200 experience for the 2 standing, and life as well as life 2 casts available. Using life and cure instead of life 2 wants to save those life 2 for in battle and or the wall to supplement the lack of a ribbon. We only have the 1 incentive ribbon found, and there's Razor checking Canaria Lock, getting the white shirt. As Odraun pulls Tia 2. Swing, defense. Do we get invis or do we get fade? We get fade and fast. Black Belt, or Black Mage dies 700 damage before fade or fast gets out. So this is a no fast fight. And a dodgy Kraken, or Tia. That was 3 hits instead of 6. Life coming out, not using life 2, honestly. I'm kind of shocked there. and waiting with the white mage. Just wants to get that black mage up to get the fast off. Ink is a no matters turn. Fast on the knight. Does the knight swing? The knight swings for 158. That it needs to be buffed. Lock
Yep.
to help with evasion.
Nine hits, 208 is not really. That's very absorby, Tia. Oh,
With
and Tia has
nuclear.
the other nuclear.
We haven't seen a nuke yet, except for on the Agamas, so we could see nukes coming out. No more white mage, and dark does nothing. 316 gonna hold A and pray for Odraun. Gets the job done, 518, and does, I believe, have access to a life cast. Let me triple check. No, never mind. No life. This is man mode.
Yep. At least we've only got Chaos left. Maybe Chaos is just kind of weak.
And Pro Cape, Ribbon. You got a defense sword. And you got 600 health and some heal pots. You could make it work. Would you like to take it away, my good friend?
Sure. We are switching up our equipment. We're going to go ahead and put that Vorpal on for some damage. And we defense. So we're probably going to defense here for a little bit. Defense. Still 2 hits. Defense. And Ice does nothing. Cure 2 on the Knight. Quad X does nothing. So now, yeah, we're going to Cure up again. Zap does nothing. Chaos, having inherited all of the useless instant kill spells. Rub does nothing. While we swing for 3 hits, 128, we're probably going to want to do a little bit better than that. Ooh, 1 damage. Not great. Stun doesn't land, thankfully. 3 hits, 65 damage. Nuke does away with much of our hit points. I would see us, yep, we're going to go back to Cure 2 strats. And Cure 2 again. Our last Cure 2, so better last. And heal pots. Here we go again. 2 hits, 150. Chaos misses. We've got 1 damage. Ice 3. So we've looped around in our spells anyway, it seems like. Quad X. Next we'll see Zap and then Rub. We would like Chaos to be punching, because we would like him not to be getting closer to that nuke again. Rub is ineffective. 3 hits, 183. This Chaos is just taking the punishment left and right. 1 damage. We decide to drink a pot. $90 crit. Single hit, though. 2 hits, 2 damage. 50 for crit. 2 hits for 262. 2 hits for 135. Now we're just swinging away. And terminated. GG's in chat for Odraun, who finished with an official time of 1 hour, 9 minutes, and 32 seconds. And very soon thereafter, Razor forfeit. So let's see if we're going to have interviews here. Looks like Odraun. And we are joined by Odraun. GG's, Odraun.
How scared were you when the nuke came out? Finally made it around and got that nuke in 135 and you just hold A and pray.
While we wait for Odraun to possibly fix their mic.
I'm sorry.
Mute.
I was
Oh, there we go.
muted just to double safe my stream. I was sweating bullets and I didn't think I'd be able to heal pot enough, so I just figured swing away and hope.
Well, you did Oslato proud, switching to the Vorpal at the end. man mode for the victory without relying on the punch cannon. You had a punch submachine gun at the end, and it took its final breaths before the final fight.
Yeah, I could not find a grind for that punch cannon anywhere.
Well,
No.
we saw the Agamas had nukes, so good thing you didn't find that tile.
Yeah, that would have been like, oh boy, get all set up for it and then get nuked down.
Yeah, everything that was even within the realm of possibility was nasty. So.
Did Razor see an eye? Did the eyes have anything nasty?
We did not
We
see
didn't
any
ever see the
eyes.
eye.
We really didn't see, as you said, any good grindable encounter.
Yeah,
Even
there
Steak
wasn't
and
really
Wings
anything.
was, yeah, even Steak and Wings in the desert was spooky.
Yeah, and you kind of already have to have a fairly decent leveled up black belt to solo the Steak and Wings, because those red steaks always have like 600-700 plus HP. Razor saw an eye in the sky and it was paper thin, but it might have had some nastiness that didn't get seen.
I mean, I could open it up and see what they had if y'all are interested.
I mean, does it tell you where or what was in the grind tiles in C that I was too afraid to check?
No, but I can at least see what different encounters had skills-wise and stats-wise. But putting that aside for now, GG's to you for the win. GG's for Razor for holding in there and giving a good fight, all things considered.
Yeah, I was talking with the Razor and he had an unfortunate brain deletion of the Onrak continent having shops on it.
Yeah, that item French, or just showing up where it normally would be as a shop item, just out of the way and progression locking.
Yeah, I mean, it being the
Shame.
last spot I could have gone to.
Well, at least you didn't have to triple dive the continent,
Yeah,
just double.
yeah, triple dive would have been annoying. Having to get floater to get the key wasn't great, but I'm like, oh boy, I can look for grind tiles now.
We have been pinged by our hosts at Speed Gaming to let us know that the next race on docket has already gotten started.
Whoops.
So we are going to go ahead and roll ourselves over. It is Final Fantasy Mystic Quest Randomizer. Not to rush us too hard. Final quick thoughts, Odraun?
Thank y'all for calming and tracking, and thank you to everyone who watched.
And with that, I have been Davian Hawk, my co-host on the stream today, Softnum, our tracker for this and last race, Mechlin. Thank you for our racers. Thank you, Speed Gaming. Y'all have a good evening.